Hey, what's up? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'm talking to multi-platinum rapper, songwriter, and record producer, G-Eazy. Let's go.
Gas, I'm smoking on piff, that's my kind. I don't want no bad times, I don't want to have bad.
Are you a milkshake guy?
Fucking, I love milkshakes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the greatest inventions in the world. Right up there
It
with...
really is one of the greatest. And every drink invented after a milkshake is kind of just like a different version of a milkshake.
Yeah, like a frappuccino.
It's a milkshake.
It's a milkshake. It's just a coffee milkshake.
A smoothie is
Yeah.
a milkshake.
It's a fruit milkshake.
Yeah. It's like, how can we make a healthier milkshake? Oh,
Yeah.
fruit. It's just not as good.
No, smoothie could never. Smoothies, I mean, love smoothies. They're just not milkshakes.
And the good smoothies, the popular ones, the ones
They're
just as much sugar as a
Just as
milkshake.
much. So you might as well just
Have
I'll do
milkshake.
like a milkshake once every like month or two.
Yeah.
Like as a little like, a little treat.
Are you like a big fitness guy?
No.
How do you really?
No.
You look great.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
Just naturally.
No, I guess no, but stage.
Like stage is
jumping
cardio.
around a stage doing
Yeah.
cardio for an hour and a half, you sweat a ton.
Yeah, you're probably burning like 700-800 calories, 900
Yeah.
calories. Like crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Nah, it's felt so good. Speaking of that, like, just being back on the road again. I hadn't realized
How long were you off?
6 years.
Off the
6
road?
long years, yeah.
Wow.
Like one-offs here and there. And
Yeah.
we did like we do like little runs. Like I did India for the first time a year ago.
How was that?
The festivals in the summer sometimes, but like
How was India?
it was crazy. It's a
Big
whole different
show.
world out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
huge. That was like 8,000 hard tickets
Yeah.
like each night. And I'm like, I didn't know. It was my first time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time you go, it'll
Man.
be 80,000 tickets.
Dude, it's nuts.
That's how. Yeah, that's how it works. There.
Man. So yeah, but I mean the disparity, socioeconomically and just culturally, like crazy. We're staying at the Four Seasons or something, and nice hotel. But we got in, middle of the night, check in the room. I hadn't opened my blinds, so next morning I wake up and I open the blinds, and it's like right across the street outside of you're in the trenches.
Right.
Like right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's felt really good being back on the road right now.
Yeah. It's weird how that works, right? Like, one thing to make music, but performing
Yeah,
is kind of the reason you make music.
yeah.
Almost.
It's the completion of it.
yeah.
Because it's like you're in front of the people that, I like think about it this way, like a concert, a show, you have some hundreds or thousand or thousands or however many people, packed in this room, and the commonality they all share is an appreciation of your music.
Yep.
It's like you guys all come from different walks of life. You don't know each other, but you have this thing in common. And then in unison and harmony, you're singing along to these songs. And it's nuts. It's crazy. It's like, so you're in this energy-packed room of strangers, but you all are in sync in this harmony and shared appreciation of the music. And that's just a crazy feeling.
Yeah. I think for me, I haven't toured in 8 years,
Damn.
but we're going to tour next year or something.
Hell yeah.
Like, we're like trying to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, we've been trying
Fuck
to figure
yeah,
it. We've
bro.
been trying to figure it out for
Yeah.
like 5 years.
Yeah.
But it's like family, kids,
Man. Yeah, y'all got a whole
wives.
Yeah.
My wife has a career. My brother's wife has a career. The whole
Yeah.
band, like we've been together since high school. So
Yeah, yeah.
like we have like a
lot of moving parts.
and everybody's parts matter. So
Yeah.
our bass player was in college for 4 years.
Yeah,
he wanted to
yeah.
go get his degree.
Fire.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
everything, there's a lot of pieces. So we've been like talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. And
That's
then
going to be big, though. That's going to be insane.
I think it'll be great
Yeah.
just to be back together for like,
Yeah.
I don't know how long we can do it, but like a month would be like,
Yeah, bro.
I think a month, 25 shows or
Because
something.
don't it feel, I mean, I never went to summer camp, but it feels like what a summer camp would feel like. You know what I mean? And you just band together, literally.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like the catering, you know what I mean, rooms, like, you know what I'm saying? The green rooms, they're like,
Cafeteria.
yeah, dude, it's like getting to kick it every day. Like off days, going to Top Golf or like, you know what I mean, a theme park or something. It's like, it's just so fire getting to hang out, like, and I love getting to bring artists that I genuinely fuck with, like, friends of mine, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You've always been that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I realized about touring in early days and then across my whole life is growing up, I didn't have a group. I wasn't popular. We were poor. I never felt like I was I didn't feel like I was a part of anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't a star of a team.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to be.
Right. No,
being
for
honest.
sure. Yeah. Bro, I relate.
Yeah.
You know, relate. And it was like, that's why I found solace in, you know, in music, because it was like, you know, this was this place that didn't make me feel as lonely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this thing that became a passion and obsession, but like it was a place I could go and I would feel like, you know, like I belonged, kind of, you know?
Yeah. And you grow up and you get to grow in it. Like, first I started dressing a little bit more. Then the band, we started the band, and I started dressing a little bit more, like, and then it develops into this whole person who found his style, found his personality that I did not have. I had it in here, but it takes those shows and those little basement shows and those little club shows, playing parties, and then you get your first gig at a bar, and then you're playing this free show at something, and then the whole way you're developing
it
more than just your music.
Yeah.
You're developing
your whole
person.
sense of self.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
And then all the way forward, you get to your first hit song.
Yeah.
And you're this you're not fully developed, but you're this persona almost that is you.
Yeah.
But it's also you on stage.
Yeah.
And there's extreme versions of you, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But then if you hang out with me, I'm me. But then if you see me on stage, I'm me too, but it's this part of me.
Yeah. And extremified, I don't know if that's the word, but like, you know, like caricature and version, but also just like a super version.
It's a super version.
Yeah.
And the growing fan base or crowd more people show up, up, and the version's getting bigger. Yeah. And then it's interesting to me because it's not like it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's bad. It's like this crowd that showed up in India and they get to see you for the first time.
Yeah.
They were a part of energetically before they ever got to see you in person.
Yeah.
Were a part of participating in your like growth because they were putting energy into your world that you were building.
Yeah.
And some of it you can feel, some of it you can see, some of it you can hold if you buy a t-shirt or a record or whatever. But it's actually like this intangible
this thing. Yeah. It's like, and that's community and culture. And, you know, it's crazy when I look in the crowd and I see people dressed like me, you know, and they'll come in all black to the meet and greets. Yeah. It's like you buy into it, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, for sure.
It's giving something. And I always think about it because like, I was talking to my brother about you, and you know my brother Josh.
Yeah.
From back in the day.
Yeah. Bro, y'all
loves you.
Man, like you guys are like very. I was talking on the way here. Like y'all are gonna see like to my assistant, and I was like, bro, like I don't know what like in y'all's DNA. Y'all are amazing human beings, bro.
Oh,
like we love y'all.
Thank you.
Like outstanding human beings, man. Incredible guys.
Thank you. You know, I think we have only had each other, and then we came in the world and we built something that was special to us, and it meant a lot to other people in different ways. But at the core of it, we were always just together trying to figure life out because it was just us. And we all do different things. Like my brother Josh, who's not in the band, but has always been a part, like a very close, like he's a different guy.
Yeah.
And I always notice the people that see him.
Yeah.
I always know real ones. When I see real ones, when I'm like, oh, they said they met Josh.
He's the best guy ever.
And we talk every day on the phone because he's in Nashville. And and I was like, oh, I'm talking to G-Eazy today. And he goes, Gerald? And I was like, yes. Yeah. And he said, oh, I fucking love him.
Yeah, man.
You know, he loves his brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, him and his brother are tight. And like we measure a lot of people on how close they are to their brothers.
Yeah, facts, you know.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Weird thing to measure.
Man, I just saw my brother. He He and I don't know if you know this, but we're born one day apart, but 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So I was born May 24th at 3 in the morning, and 3 years later, he was born May 23rd at 3 p.m.
Wow.
So 2 Gemini boys, and my mom would always call us the day and night boys. And could not be more opposite.
Right.
But he's my favorite person on the planet.
Yeah.
You know, he's the best guy I know. And, you know, he manages a restaurant in New Orleans, and he works, you know, around the clock and, you know, lives a completely different kind of life, he and his wife. And, you know, it really killed him that he didn't make it to one of the shows on the U.S. leg of the tour. And he was dead set on coming to one. So they flew out to London, and they were there, you know, like 48 hours.
That's sweet.
You know? But they just really wanted to see a show. It was so dope. And I, you know, I have this part of the show I usually dedicate to my mom. And then you know, and he was there, and I brought him out on stage, dude, and I just had a good cry and a really tight hug with him. It was just a real special moment, man. It was beautiful.
There's no one like your brother.
Yeah.
And I get confused when people aren't close to their brothers.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so sad.
Yeah.
Because
through it all, it was always Gerald and James.
and there's a lot you could miss out on if you can't get past whatever pain. You know, I see people that everybody has different relationships, and I understand.
Yeah.
And I think about like the pain we go through a life of growing up and realizing what life really is. And we had a tough childhood.
Yeah.
And so it was hard for us for some years to be as close, even though we were close, until we started working on ourselves and actually like healing and like learning how to communicate with one another and work through some of our, you know, like problems we didn't even know were given to us, or going through loss like you guys suffered.
Yeah.
If you don't work on it and try, you don't get to experience what it means to have a brother who, you know, my brothers never judge me, even if they don't agree with me, even if we have a problem.
Yeah.
Like, I just know they're there, and it's been that way. And like Josh's a great example of like I can call him anytime. I can be honest with him. I can tell him if I'm nervous about something. I can tell him if I'm down about something.
Yeah.
And you can't really be vulnerable in the world. There's no room for it. If you're
it's
vulnerable,
such a public world. I mean, it's like, especially, I mean, with social media, it's just, bro, you're judged by the world.
Period.
Constantly.
Period.
You know, especially as a forward-facing public figure. But, dude, did you know that David Lynch did a Disney movie?
no.
This isn't completely veering left, I promise.
Which movie?
It's incredible. I just recently watched it. It's called A Straight Story, but it's about this old guy based on a true story who only had so much longer to live. And he, you know, is very poor. And he, his eyesight's so bad, he doesn't have his driver's license. So he drives a tractor with a trailer behind it through states to go see his younger brother, who he hadn't talked to in years before he dies. He needs to go visit his brother.
Yeah.
And make right with it. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie, man. It's I don't know how to, because it's and I was thinking about it. David
I'm gonna
Lynch
watch
just
it.
passed. Yeah, man. It's very Lynchian. Like it's I don't know how Disney like let him do that, but it's beautiful, man.
He
It's
just
so good.
died,
It's called A
right?
Straight Story. Yeah, David Lynch just died.
He was big on meditation.
Yeah, TM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever learn TM?
No,
I did.
No, I've never met Rick Rubin. I never went out there and learned it from him.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
A few of
he
my
does
friends
that.
who do
Okay.
it, they got it from him.
It's actually
Shout out Goody
amazing.
Grace. Yeah.
I learned it like 10 years ago. I don't think I would say I don't do TM every day, but I
I'm
meditate.
way too
probably.
ADHD.
Yeah. Oh, you have ADHD?
Oh my God.
So do I.
Yeah.
Are you on any medication for it?
No.
Okay.
I just stay busy.
Yeah. Exactly that.
Yeah.
It says a lot though. Going back to Josh, and I talked to him today, and I was like, oh, I'm talking to him, and he's like, you know, he's like very close to his brother like us. I don't know why it says something to us about a guy when he's close to his brothers. I don't know. It's weird. Like that's our language.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because there's something about that's beneath the surface, behind the curtain,
Yeah.
the real person. All of us out in the world that we have to work. So you got to be you, and it is you. I'm not saying it's not you when you show up on a stage or on a red carpet or in a photo shoot. That's you. But there's also you, like when you do that, doesn't matter. This is my opinion. You got to have your guard up in some way, shape, or form to be out there.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's just, especially you, the nature of your business is a little different than rock. It's a business full of narratives, criticisms.
Yeah.
What are
have you
you
done for me lately?
wearing? Who are you this? What are you that?
Yeah, who are you dating? Yeah.
In my opinion, like the world of like in the zeitgeist of pop culture, hip hop, all this stuff is very like gossip driven and very like things are out of context. Everyone, it's all opinion driven.
I mean, it's like, you mean to tell me that I did an hour-long interview that is just will be reduced to that? And they don't even post a video first because engagement. It's so ridiculous.
That's it.
So you got to
click
to swipe and see even, and then they will even like take the first like 3 words that you said and then the last 4 and combine that, but leave out the whole middle thing. Yeah. And it's like, how is this okay? How are we not all talking about it? This is not okay.
Well,
okay?
I'll tell you the answer.
But then that'll get taken out and this get, you know what I mean? We all need views, and we all need clicks. And we all need,
so this is the general answer. This is the general answer, right?
Yeah.
If any old person, anybody, fuck you. You signed up for this.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, yeah, took that out of context.
Right.
You know, I'm a real person. I was saying, I actually cared about that interview. I thought it went well.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just said, and they're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You signed up for this.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
God, and then
like,
comment culture. I mean, because I'll just jump straight to the comments myself. I'm guilty. You know what I mean? Because I want to know the general temperature of the reaction of the culture. Yeah. And dude, it's just crazy.
You can write the most
it
clever.
makes you scared to like, you know, anytime which is anytime I'm in front of a camera or a microphone, it's like, or even behind the screen of what I type, you know what I mean? It's like, it makes you become so filtered, and
you filter yourself.
And then now you're living with this anxiety of like overthinking everything and not, you know what I mean? So you have to be this kind of like polished, perfected version of like your presentation and performance to the world. And, you know, I just, man, there's nothing you could do about it, but
it's funny though.
I do miss some brutal honesty of, you know what I mean? Yesteryear, I feel like back in the day, you have more rock and roll moments of like just
say
filterless truth. You know what I mean? Yeah, honesty and truth.
And if we were in a room together,
we're in a room together,
right?
Categorically.
And I'm the guy I'm writing a comment, right? I wouldn't say any of that to you. I'd be like, oh my God, hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that album or whatever, like straight up.
Yeah.
Or they would just be fucking nervous.
Yeah.
Or they would be whatever. Because you got to remember the comment section is them trying to farm engagement, which they are.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Can I write the most clever
one that's going to get the most likes to be at the top of the list.
At the top. So it's all this like gamification of like of people.
Of engagement,
and we all fucking know it. And we all sit there and we still read it because we actually care about our art. We care about representing ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we're fucking real people.
Yeah.
And we do something we care about.
Yeah, right.
And then we actually do care if people like it.
Yeah.
And we can't be honest about that. We can't be honest about anything with each other anymore.
Yeah.
And everybody's answer is, fuck you, you signed up for this. And you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. But it still matters. Like it still matters
to me.
Like, you know what I mean?
I'm just saying, and that's the world to me. I just say everybody's playing that same game and we're all up against it and we all have our moments. We all have a moment where we look good. We all have a moment where we look bad.
Yeah.
And everybody has it. And anybody that says they don't have it, they weren't a real person trying to navigate this thing that we all do, which is
we're all in this together, man. We get one go around with this, man. We're doing the best we can. None of us know what we're doing. We're just doing the best we can,
straight
man.
Up.
You know what I mean? Like,
so me and my brothers, we don't measure artists a lot of times. Well, we like their art, but we don't measure a lot of times like what we see. We'll say like, oh yeah, that dude, he's really tight with his brother.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, he's done. He's good.
Yeah.
We love him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how we see people.
Yeah.
We're like,
I mean, quality of character is such an important thing, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what I said about you guys earlier, it's like, and people know, because you know what I mean, the way I hear people talk about you is the same. It's like how high of a regard you guys are always held in anytime you come up in conversation.
Oh,
like,
those
those are the best guys, like the best people, period. And that's quality of character, and a lot of people just don't have it. You know what I mean? Like it's your bones, it's your grounding, it's your foundation, and a lot of that comes from, you know, me and like, so like I remember me and my brother, we would ride the Amtrak train together every other weekend to go visit our dads, and on summertime we go visit our dad,
Where was this?
in Fresno.
Okay.
So it was like a 3.5 hour like train ride from Oakland down to Fresno.
So
and
Oakland
back
to
up.
Fresno. That's a
Yeah.
long.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
haul.
Every other weekend, there and back. And
Fresno is an interesting place
and that's
too.
a very interesting place. So that's a lot of time, just me and him.
Yeah.
And I looked after him all growing up because we're 3 years apart, and I'm the big brother. Like whether that's protecting him, shielding him from stuff, defending him, looking out for him when we were little kids, like always being the protector and the one next to him. And then I left for college, and it was just the three of us. My mom's partner had passed the year before. So now it's just me, James, and my mom. And when I left for college, I had a real guilt thing about, and because my mom was already sick, and I felt like I was abandoning both of them.
Yeah.
Because I was I already had my job all through high school, and now I'm just leaving them, and he was, now he's a sophomore, taking
high
care of my
school.
mom. Yeah. And then it was a few years later that, after college, it was like, what were you going to do? You're chasing this music thing. It's not working yet. You know what I mean? You're barely getting, I was playing any shows I could get, you know what I mean? Whether that's, I had opened for some hardcore bands in garages and
Right.
shit like that. You know what I
Any
mean? I was
show,
doing
yeah.
anything I could get.
And as G-Eazy?
As G-Eazy.
Always G-Eazy.
Yeah. And trying to figure it out as I go.
That's fucking
And
awesome,
then my mom
bro.
lost her job. So then she's moving back into my grandma's house in the room that was her room when she went to high school. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was the moment where I was like, this has to happen. Like, this has to work.
Or bust.
Or bust. You know what I mean? And it was right around then that it caught, And that was always a battery in my back is, taking care of making sure that moms was straight, and then, helping my brother in every single way I possibly could, I mean, helping pay for his wedding a year ago. That was such a special feeling for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or getting him his car, his first nice car, you know what I mean? Or stuff like that. He just bought a house, and I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
In New Orleans, he and
I
his
know
wife.
that feeling.
Yeah, dude. Helping with things here and there with that. Yeah, man, that love and loyalty being that strong, but that determination, because we're so close and we care about each other so much, that I gotta always make sure that the people I love most in life are taken care of.
God, that makes me so fucking happy to hear that story. I never heard that story.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you guys were up against. We had the same story. We were just trying to make it. We got evicted so many times. Then we moved out. We moved out the last time we were getting evicted. We were just turning 18, and we were like, okay, Mom, don't worry about us.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. She had my sister, and then we went and just started trying to make it.
Yeah.
And we were done high school. It was the same time we were ending high school, and all the people we knew around were going to college and stuff.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, let's just give ourselves 4 years to make it. And then if we don't, we can go get a job or go to try to get
those
to college.
years, man, 18 to 22, around
Big
there,
time.
it's really, really big because, you've completed something most times in high school or whatever, but you're at an age where you're still so you have your maturity and your intelligence of an 18-year-old, but you're going to see so much between 18 and 22.
Yep.
And experience so much, and you're going to figure out who you are,
Yeah.
If you figured out who you are in high school, then I'm sorry for you.
It's bad.
It's bad.
You don't want to peak.
No.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're still just figuring shit out.
Yeah. But think about it. That whole time you're there, you're trying to figure it out. You're actually trying to do too much.
Yeah.
You're trying to go to college and make it.
Yeah.
And I know you're thinking, you're like, I'm going to do this just because it's the right thing to do.
Well, to me, it was a promise to my grandma that I
that's
made,
nice.
and I got into one school.
Okay.
It was
So you had
in
to
New
go.
Orleans. It was right after Katrina. They were taking anybody.
Yeah.
So I rebuild the
"Come on
economy.
in."
Come to New Orleans, please.
Yeah.
And
That's actually
and I
really nice.
Yeah, man. And I still to this day have reoccurring night terrors of I'm in college and I'm I have 1 semester left to graduate. I need these credits, but I'm having to decide between the music and there's one class. It's always this one class in the dream.
Yeah.
And it's like a lady teacher who's like kind of a Karen. And like, I just stopped going to that class because I make the decision is I have to fuck that off. I'm going to prioritize the music. I can't take all 5 of these classes. I need to make some time, like carve out, that's the one I can sacrifice, and then skip ahead in the dream. And it's like final exams. And it's like a stress dream. It's a night terror about like fucking tests give me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I could study, and I'd panic when I get there.
I can't do tests. I'm terrible at tests.
Yeah.
But, the people around me at the time in the place that we lived was a very small place. It's like backwater Maryland. It's like no one even knows where this place is. It's just nowhere.
Yeah.
And they don't have any idea what you're trying to do. So none of them can give you any kind of encouragement. They're just like, you sure about that? What are you guys doing?
Right. And no context in that.
No, zero. But the person who was always cheering us on and giving us ideas and trying to help and participate in a positive way was my brother.
Yeah.
And that's why we're the 3 amigos. Like, anytime we have an idea, he's all in. Like, we started our business 12 years ago, our businesses, and like, he's the guy who's like, he's like a bit of a shaman, because I'll go to him and I'll go, I got this idea, I want to do this. And he's like, that's a great idea. And then it always works.
Yeah.
So the 3 of us, there's something that we just know we have to be connected for our
I love that.
success,
Yeah.
in life, and then supporting each other. But that about you says it all to me about your success.
Yeah.
And your ability to navigate. The most fucked up part about success is when what we thought of and what we wanted to do and what we created becomes everyone else's in the sense of who we are. It's their narrative. They write it.
Yeah.
What our music is, they write it. That's the narrative. Any aspect of our life, whether it's relationships or personal trauma, they write about it.
Yeah.
They decide the narrative. That's the narrative.
You know what's crazy? I was just talking earlier today in this interview that my mom came up and I was talking about this voicemail she left me that I used on a song. Where I was looking back to this day, I'm so happy I didn't answer the phone that day because I got that voicemail out of it.
Oh.
And it was the day I was going to sign my record deal, and I tried to call her and she wasn't by her phone. So when she called me back, I was in there signing it, like physically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the voicemail is like, "Hey Gerald, I just wanted to say how proud I am of you because you've risen to heights of creativity and maturity and it's going to be your life by the sounds of it. This is, you followed your dreams and you have your grounding in yourself, and that's so rare. And, there's something about like, when I hug my brother, the way he smells, or like, you know what I mean? I go back, to like see my aunts and uncles, like, and the house smells and feels and their eyes, you know what I mean? You see you because it's DNA, it's, you know what I mean? And it's so easy to kind of like, it's so not easy, but oftentimes, you can get lost in this industry, in this space, and it also becomes, like you were saying, it's everyone else's narrative. It's everyone else's music. I press publish and it's yours now. You know what I mean? You live with it and it's up to your interpretation. And, you get pulled in all these directions because, maybe they like the G-Eazy who sings, but they want the G-Eazy who, raps like over, but they want the pop songs, but they want me to be doing this. And you can't make everybody happy. You're not Tequila.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're getting pulled in all these directions, and then you play the game and, and you and I both know it's like, we're smart, like we're intelligent people.
Yeah.
And we get the industry, we get the strategy, we get the business side of things. And you continue to evolve and mold and grow, and, you figure what works, and then you do it, but then you can kind of like wake up one day and be like, yo, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Like I strayed away. So then you go back home and you hug your family and you remember, it's like, and you come back to your bones.
Yeah.
And it's just an important thing to do, man.
Yeah. And you can do the same thing. I found, I'm older than you, but I found like I have
a little bit. I'm getting up there.
I think I'm way older than you, bro. I think I'm 45.
Hey, man. I ain't gonna say. I'm 35.
You look like you're like fucking 25, bro.
Oh, man. You're too kind.
But
you look 35.
That's great. That's a good age. You're in your prime, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to someone today about, I said, when I was 25, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be playing shows and on stage at 45. And now at 45, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, we're better actually live.
Yeah.
We're better now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, dude, it's like anything. You know, like we're of the luckiest people on the planet because we fell in love with something.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody like loves anything, falls in love with anything. You can go your whole life and never figure out what it is that you truly
doing
love
something
to do.
you love. Yeah.
And then, you know, like anything you love to do, ideally you'd like to do it a lot.
Yeah.
And if you do anything
get
a lot,
paid for it,
you get better at it.
Yeah.
You do it a lot. And then if you get really better and better at it because you're doing it a lot, and then you get paid for it, well, then now you want to do it even more. You know what I mean? And it becomes this thing that you keep getting better and refining. And dude, I'm like constantly in a state of curiosity and hunger of like, every night I'm like off stage, I'm like taking notes, you know what I mean? Going over notes with the team.
Watching the game tape.
And shit. Like, or even if, you know, living in New York, man, I go to a lot of comedy shows. Their cadence and timing of how they or place a joke here and then circle back to it. You know what I mean? How I incorporate elements of that even into the show or theater and like, you know, parts of showmanship.
Yep.
You know, and involving all that. Yeah, man.
It's a craft.
Yeah.
And I think we have to give ourselves the time and the space to do that without a clock ticking like our time's running out. If you have talent and you have work ethic, you'll have success.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time. If you're always keeping to some metric of success, like a chart or whatever, those are good metrics sometimes for certain things. But at the end of the day, if you continue to work on your craft and continue to do work that you like, you'll continue to have success and you'll have an interesting career.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you stay inspired, but I do think like having a sanctuary, having a place where the guy who started in college in New Orleans and was trying to figure out how to help his mom and his brother, if you don't bring him along and keep him close to you and then find a place where he can be, like that guy is still you. That's probably the you that I just got to know. Then I'm like, oh, I knew I fucked with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you find out and you're like, oh, I fuck with him. And that's the guy that you can only give to certain people. Yeah. You can only be that guy.
Well, he's something you preserve and protect.
Right, because the world...
You protect him at all costs.
And he's too good for anybody that doesn't see him.
I mean, yeah, the day you lose him is the day you
and that's the thing, man, is like I realized with my wife over time, because I always felt I wasn't good enough for her. It was my thing, it was self-esteem. And then somewhere in, like, we've been together almost 20 years, somewhere in the middle, I was working on myself. I was starting to like myself more than I did. And I figured it out. She sees that guy, the guy who was working 2 jobs, trying to make it with his band, trying to help his mom find a place to live, trying to help his, you know, trying to make it. Just every dollar mattered when you're like $20 short every fucking week. You're like, you can't eat or you can't pay your electric or you can't, and you're just trying to make it and you're fucking tired and any amount of money would help. At that time, I would have fucking signed any deal. I was just starving for everything, for love, for actual food, for safety. The world was a tough place. I was like, the music business is a joke.
Yeah. We've been through harder shit than that.
Out there, it's hard.
Yeah, man.
So, but that guy, and then I came in the music business and I thought everybody was going to love me and everyone was going to celebrate me and everyone was going to be so happy I made it. And then some people were. The fans of Good Charlotte were. Everybody else, no.
Yeah.
The world is hard. It's cold.
It's hard.
They're
it's a
upset.
cold ass world. You better get a coat.
But then my wife met that guy after a little bit of dating. After I took the persona, like I did. As long
I know.
I impressed her at first with that rock and roll stuff, but then when you have to get to know someone, you got to show them who you are, and you let your guard down, and you're just a fucking like corny kid from wherever trying to make it with his music, and you actually care, and you actually care about things. That's when I think she and me got really tight, and then over the years of being together, I realized my home and what I share with her and my kids is where I get all my safety. That's where I recharge. That's where I get the confidence to come back out in the world and try.
Yeah.
And something about that allows me to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
If I'm honest here on this show, I can be honest. And if anyone wants to take it out of context, if they want to rip it apart, if they want to do whatever, they can. I don't fucking care, because I go home to a place where
You know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see that my wife, my kids, my brother, his wife, the crew we have.
Yeah.
It gives me what I needed. And I think like family, it's what you have with your brother. Absolutely what you had with your mother.
Yeah.
I think we are fed this fantasy with our success. It's not that our success is bad. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
But there's a fantasy that everything just gets better.
Yeah.
And like we live this like magical.
Some things get better.
A lot get better. You can pay for stuff. And you know.
Yeah. Sushi Park tonight will taste delicious. Wow.
Yeah. Like, yes, absolutely. There's a bunch of great things, but I feel like if you don't have that place you can
You'll get lonely.
get in the ground
Yeah.
and like be there, I think it makes you better out in the world where you're actually just trying to succeed.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
But that's like, if we're playing a sport, 500 is great. 300 is amazing.
Yeah.
In baseball, you know what I mean?
I say it all the time, man. The best hitters in baseball hit it 1/3 of the time, man.
And in music, especially in like pop culture these days, it's like if we're not batting 1,000,
Dude, I talk about this all the time. That's what I say. Like, like I'll go into the studio and I'll, sometimes I'll do 3 songs a night, or you know what I mean? Or you have like, you record 20, 30, 40 songs for an album or whatever. It's like, yeah, the best hitters in baseball hit it 1/3 of the time. Or you roll out this single, it doesn't work. I don't bat 1,000. You know what I mean? Like, dude,
you
I'm
hit
not a
really
robot.
well, though. I
I have hit well throughout in my career, yes. And dude, every time you catch one, and you've done this, like when you catch one and you ride that roller coaster of a hit song, it's crazy, because that just did so much for your ability to sustain for years ahead. And I'm realizing this now, 10 plus years into my career.
Yeah.
That I'm, me, myself, and I still hits.
Hits.
When, like that shit comes, like when I play it at my shows and it's like comes on and they scream it word for word, man. That song's over a decade old.
It's a hit.
It's like, oh yeah, you got a cash cow. You got a for life song out of that,
Yeah. And
like, dude, if you get a few of those, you're like, you could play festivals for the rest of your life.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. And I'm 25, 26 years in, and
and can
guess
do
what
this.
songs we're
Cats
playing?
don't get a year.
Guess
yeah,
what?
yeah, the hits. You know what I mean? And look, dude, if somebody put on Me, Myself, and I at a party or something like that, or like in the car, I'd probably fucking turn that fucking shit off.
Yeah.
Like, please, I don't want to hear that.
In real life,
you know what I mean?
Like,
I don't want to hear it. But you know what I love to perform each night is that song, dude. Like, and those hits, and because it's like, this means this much to these fans, and it takes on a different life live.
Yeah.
And then immediately I get overwhelmed with the gratitude of getting to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like, I hate when artists are like, it seems like it's like being a brat. It's like, oh, I don't want to I hate that song.
Whatever.
I don't want to play it. Like, I'm not playing that shit. I'm not putting this out. It's like, fuck you, dude. Like these people pay their hard-earned money to come and be here.
And they love you for it.
I'm sorry. They want to hear it.
Yeah.
They want to hear it.
And it's a acknowledgement too. It's love. Some people struggle with that. Some people struggle with love, straight up.
Yeah.
They just struggle with being loved. They struggle with people expressing love. They struggle with people loving their shit. It's like suddenly they love it and you're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get it, but people love it. So it's cool when you can actually embrace it. And it's a gratitude thing though. I do think it's gratitude.
Yeah.
How's the new record?
Man, the new record is the best work I've done. And I know everybody would, it feels like that when they do something new.
You
but
better say that.
The difference is, not everybody, but the difference is, I'd say, for one, this is the first time I've done an album with just one producer.
Oh, cool.
Like somebody with, and this is not a slight to anybody I've worked with in the past, but like real credits. Like Radiah McDonald did the album, and you talk about somebody who did like Adele's first album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, who did the XX, like,
Right.
like real, like old school producer.
Yeah.
And we locked in, we did it all in the same studio, all in New York, over like 2 months. We'd work 3 weeks, take a week or two off, work 3 weeks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just lock in. And I got his full 100% attention and took his coaching because, you know, I respected him so much. You know, I took his, you know, harsh, you know, suggestion and criticism and suggestions, you know, because he was that mindful, attentive, and involved. You know, it can feel like speed dating when you're doing sessions with, you know, certain rap or pop producers. It's like they show up with a laptop, plug in the aux, open a folder of beats, you know, leave you with that, and then they're out.
Yeah.
That really happens. And then there's so much yes man, just culture and laziness really is what it is. You know, it's like you get to a certain point, you work in these rooms with, you know, if you get in these rooms, you belong in these rooms. So it's like, you're not going to make bad music, but there's such a difference between good music and great music.
Yeah.
You know, and really pushing yourself to like ask yourself questions like, what are we trying to say with this song? Could this be better? Could you rewrite that verse? You know, could this chorus, is it doing enough for us? You know, or can we beat it?
Yeah, that's experience.
Yeah, experience. So you can't just, and experience and passion and caring.
Yeah.
And we were just all in, man. There's no fat. There's just no filler, no fat. It's like condensed and it's concise. And yeah, man, Helium. It's the highs and lows of love, highs and lows of life.
I mean, that to me sounds like a classic, like how classic records are made. I mean, certainly there's records where, especially in hip hop, it's a compilation of producers' tracks that someone picked really well or whatever. And there's classic records that are certainly exist that way. But a lot of, in the sense of like the greater sense of music across all genres, a lot of the classic records were made with one group of people with putting their minds to trying to create a cohesive body of work that tells a story.
That tells a story.
Or has a concept or whatever. But that's what it sounds like to me. That's awesome.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And yeah, dude, it was fun to make. It put a battery back in my back of just, you know, like Freak Show comes out. It didn't do, you know, commercially what I'm used to. You know, it was humbling a bit, you know, but it was like, all right, what are you going to do about it? Like, get right back in. And luckily, me and Roddy had like hit it off. It started as doing sessions to do a Freak Show Deluxe, and it became, we're doing a whole record.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, dude. And we just like locked in, and I was really just having fun in the studio again. And I'd be excited to come in every day. You know, we'd work, get there in the daytime and, you know, cut it at night. It wasn't like I was showing up at 8 and recording till 5, 6 in the morning. It's like, nah, let's do this like it's a job.
Yeah.
And come in every day and just be on it and know when, you know, with that experience, he's really good at like sensing, okay, we're burning out this idea. Let's ear break it. Stop, put it aside. You know, load this one up. Let's go take a walk. Or let's go get dinner. Like getting out of there. Man, there was a few lessons, man, that he taught me. This one story, he was like, you know, like, G, we get it. I know you want to sing. I was like trying to hit a chorus, you know, and sing it myself.
And you like to sing?
I mean, dude, I could never sing. Like, I always thought I was tone deaf.
Right.
Because rap, I mean, like, you think Jay-Z and Nas, that's all monotone.
Yeah.
Like, here with it. I always wanted to sing, but I couldn't. My brother was the musician.
That's funny. I think you're a great singer.
Well, in COVID, I took vocal lessons, and I finally learned my voice. Yeah. And I love it. For me, it's like I've been rapping for so long. It's like it was a new challenge.
Yeah, it's a new instrument.
But I'm a non-singer, you know? Like, I've just had to learn techniques to find my voice and make it work for me. But anyway, I was trying to sing something that he goes, Gee, I know you want to sing.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear you sing.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was said in a way that it didn't hurt my feelings. It was like, he was like, but I've thought a lot about this, and you know, your natural like speaking voice and deeper, lower voice like this, there's somebody that I know you like a lot that has a similar kind of tone as that. And I wanted you to try it like Leonard Cohen.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
dope.
I was like, whoa, yeah, dude.
Actually, that makes sense.
Yo, and it was like, and it unlocked. And, you know, instead of trying to hit like the top line part, you know, like I did it, you know, like more down here without the auto-tune on, but I'm still, you know what I mean? It's tonal. And it just worked. And it was that kind of suggestion. And like, you know, I'd never had a producer before, like, you know, like pushed me and helped find my voice and make the utility of it work per song the way he did. You know, I was doing one and like he was like, I get it, G, you like sad music, you like to write sad music. It's okay, it's fine. Some of the greatest songs are, but just let's keep it fun, like production wise. You know what I mean? Let's make it up tempo. Let's like, shit like that, man. It was dope little like.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
That's a great way to make an album.
Yeah.
That sounds like really fulfilling.
Yeah. Fulfilling, man. So that's why my eyes lit up when you asked about the new record. It's like, yeah, dude.
It's interesting too, because I think you have one of the smoothest deliveries.
Thank you, man.
It's just very hard to be smooth and like authentic.
Yeah.
This is like a smooth delivery is like, God damn, he's fucking cool. Like, it's very rare you find the smooth delivery that's also believable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. But also, I'm just going to compliment you because you know,
it's all about mud.
Yeah, you only get one, you get to talk to someone and you get to tell them everything you think.
Yeah,
I'm very lucky I get to do that sometimes. You have a smooth delivery. The way you use words is you can hear the hours. I can hear all of the before you were G-Eazy, the world knows you were writing in a pad or you were rapping over a tape or you were doing whatever you were doing when you were doing it, trying to make it. And then you make it and the world gets to know the character that we wanted to be, right?
Yeah.
Because we needed to be that guy. I needed to be strong enough and tough enough in my mind to survive this big, scary world that I was in. It's almost like against my will. I was pushed out into the world through poverty, and like I needed to become something to survive.
Yeah.
And then
it's survival mechanism.
Right. And then I became the singer of a band that was blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, and that's just, it is me.
Yeah.
But I had to believe every second of it to survive.
Yeah.
And then to survive the entertainment business and to survive fame and to survive success.
Yeah.
To survive
crazy
having money. To survive having whatever you want, kind of, whatever you want in a weird way.
Such a mind fuck.
Like such a mind fuck.
Dude, it's whiplash. It's like,
yes, and you have to survive it and
sustain it,
and get to the other side of it almost.
Yeah.
I always say, like, if you survive the first round of fame,
if
you survive it, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because then on the other side of it, you realize
catching that second one is like a plane landing safely. Like, okay, we got this.
Yeah.
You know, because riding that first hit is like you're up in the air. You know what I mean? And it's like, but the hardest thing is getting that second one, because then it's like, it's like, okay, this has gotten to at least a cruise control.
And
or
then
like
you get the third one, like surprise.
And then you get a third one, you're okay, now you're cemented.
Yeah, and the third
and it
one's
never
like
gets like easier. There's always that pressure.
It's always
in
hard.
the back to like, well, where's your next one? Where's your next one? But at least
you make
I can
peace with
say
it.
I made peace with it. Yeah, and now I know in like my heart of hearts, like we've accomplished so much.
Yes.
And are so blessed. And all I ever wanted was just to be in a position where I could keep doing this thing.
And take care of your
and
family.
Take care of my people.
Is that it?
Like we've done that.
But you became more than that. I mean, you really are one of those voices, right? And you have a lot more to achieve, and you will. But to look at what you've done over the last 10 years is really important, to go, here's what I've accomplished and what I've done so far. I'm very happy with it. I'm proud of myself. I worked hard to have it. I worked hard to get it. And now you've made this record you love. Yeah. And you did it in a different way. You were like, I'm going to try to do it a different way. Yeah. But I think it's great. I just think about it and I'm like, I'm a fan. So I listen to your delivery, the way you put things together, and the way you carry yourself it's always been different. And I've always liked it because it feels like, it just feels different. And I think that where you sit in music, you're gonna have to do this a few times. You're gonna have to go make this record. You're gonna have to make Helium a few different times to continue to tell the story and to develop what it means to be G-Eazy in the world. And then also what it means to be G-Eazy in real life, when you're at home, when you're with, when you're in a relationship, when you're building that life, whatever that life is. It might be marriage and kids. It might not. Yeah. Like what I learned is my lived life and the life that I go out there in the world and live in front of people are two different lives. Yeah. And I have to figure out how they interact and find a way to like help them help each other, but also have them separate.
Yeah.
And like that was the weirdest mind fuck of realizing like,
oh, it could be, that duality could be polarizing. It's crazy. Yeah. And it's like, and I mean, I say this, man, it's like, you know, you work for UPS, you go home, you take that brown off.
Yeah.
We don't take this off.
No.
I mean, I like sometimes sleep in my clothes or I fall asleep drunk, but like, you know. Like,
me too. But and it catches you at the weirdest times. Like if you're out with your wife or you're out with your kid and then somebody comes up and you're who they think you are and you're not that person, it can be, you have to find ways to navigate it with grace and like understand like it is a weird thing to kind of get your mind all the way around when you actually weren't trying to get famous. You wanted to make art and have success. And actually the driver for me, if I'm being really honest, in the early days was literally just making enough money to take care of my family.
Dude, yeah.
And it's not cool for artists to say that. Yeah. But I actually cared more about the money. Because
I mean, I just had to get by.
We were desperate.
Like, desperate.
It felt like we were drowning.
You know, I mean, my mom is an art professor. She would almost discourage me from pursuing the arts as a kid because she didn't make anything, but she taught at a very nice school. Yeah. Like she would say, Gerald, you know, you're gonna have to figure out how to make a living because, you know, I know you're falling in love with music, but you know, these kids I teach, it's a privilege to be able to pursue the arts the way they do. They come from money. You know, I can't provide that for you. Yeah, you know, and you're gonna have to. And what do you do with your art degree after you've studied at the most prestigious art school and you have a degree in art? It's like that's not like you can go get a job just because, you know what I mean? It's like she's like, you're gonna have to figure out how to make a living and get by because we don't come from that. Like, and it's crazy. I mean, how things worked out because
I'm sure
it's a luxury not provided to us to just be the avant-gardist who only cares about the art. Yeah, it must be nice, dude. Yeah, some of us have to figure out how the fuck we're gonna get by. Yeah. Like, I need to survive. I need to survive
now. I need to take care of my mom yesterday. That's how I felt. And she actually wasn't asking for it, but she was like, you take care of you. She was always very supportive. Like, you guys go try. But it wasn't good enough for me. I wanted to take care of my family and like I wanted to know what it felt like to have money. And I wanted to know what it felt like to be rich. Yeah. If I'm being honest.
Fucking right.
It's like it's not okay to say for some reason.
It's crazy, but nah, man, I wanted everything I never had and never was close to as a kid.
And I'm happy when other people get it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? When I see some guy make his first million,
God,
I'm like,
it's the best. Like, man, you know what I mean? Seeing the young homies like get that paper, go and get your bag. I love
getting people gifts.
Oh man,
like I feel like Santa Claus.
Around the time I got that voicemail, you know what I mean? And I'm signing my first RCA deal. I wanted to get it done before Christmas, and I did. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I remember going dumb on my mom, my grandma, James, everybody for Christmas that year. Man. Yeah, I was
It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, I was Santa Claus that year. It was crazy.
But we got to remind ourselves that it's the nature of the world to pick those things apart and overdo it. They do way too much when they want to look at us or you under a microscope and see how you did that and why'd you buy that and why'd you do that. But at the core,
you can spend this on that, but you can't take care of blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
But at the core, we have to accept that with some kind of love that comes with, you know, success or with our success. But I just think it's important as you go down this road. I think that you're going to continue to have a ton of success. And I think that you're going to have all kinds of success because I think you're one of those artists that have things that we all like. I wish I was as tall as you and as good looking as you.
Shut up.
Let me tell you. And the delivery and the talent. You know what I mean? So I think that's all a guy who has that and works hard, forget about it. Yeah. That's success. You're just going to succeed. Yeah. As you continue to go down the road and build your life, I think it's important to unpack it and make sense of all of it so that you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
That sounds great, man.
Yeah, dude.
I'm excited for the record.
Yeah.
And then you're going on tour.
Yep.
Another great.
Yeah.
It's been 6 years.
6 years, yeah. Yeah. So I'm combining 6 years of missed touring and
good.
It's great. Yeah. Leave for Australia tomorrow.
Congrats on the record.
Thank you, brother.
I can't wait to hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to play you this song.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you for listening to Artist Friendly. We really appreciate it. If you like the show, you can also follow us on Spotify. You can follow us on Instagram at artist.friendly. And you can watch us on YouTube and Veeps. Leave comments. I always read them. See you next time.